And you have noticed na karon, after the pandemic, ang mental health issues have been very, very prevalent, even in our circles and even in our churches. Okay, another study in relation to depression, uh, this study talks about they fit the criteria for depression. And somehow, yung word na depression, karon, is like a household term. Biskan ang bata nga gamay, mamangkot, na-depress ko. Pero anong depression? Okay? One of the criteria that psychiatrists and psychologists use and even mental health professionals use in measuring or identifying depression would be this one. May 9 ka criteria, kag if you meet 5 of these symptoms in 2 weeks' time, they would diagnose you as having clinical depression. Pero these are the, when we read through this, ang aton nga seminar, wala warrant or wala naga-entail nga, ay hala, may nakita ko ni sa akon asawa, ay nakita ko ni sa akon bana, may depression, gini siguro, hindi tayo mag-diagnose. But what I'd like you to do is identify if these are present in you or somebody near you. It's an opportunity for you to explore na base may mental health issues. Okay. Number 1, depressed mood almost every day, most of the day. So for 2 weeks, kung may nakita ka nga person nga depressed, subuan, anong subo sa Cebuano? Nalisod perme, no? Malungkot, hindi ma-explain na pagkalungkot for 2 weeks. That's one marker. Number 2, diminished interest or pleasure. Before, gusto mo maghampang basketball, magtulog ka, gahampang kagyapon basketball, no? And this time, for that span of 2 weeks, wala ka gana mag-basketball, no? Before galantaw ka cellphone mo, reels, video, for 2 weeks time, wala ka gana. Okay? Significant weight loss when at dieting or weight gain. Now, for that 2 weeks, nag-loss ka like how many kilos? Insomnia, inability to sleep, and hypermedia or you're oversleeping. No? Di ka katulog or sobratulog. Number 5, psychomotor agitation or retardation nearly every day. You're restless or pwede man luya ka, wala ka gagiyo, sorry. Fatigue or loss of energy every day, feelings of worthlessness or excessive or inappropriate guilt, diminished ability to think, concentrate, or indecisiveness nearly every day, and the last, recurrent thoughts of death. Kung makita mo na daw sa imo 5 symptoms out of 9, this is an indication that there is what we call depression. And when somehow na-observe mo ni sa imo kaugalingon or sa iban, ang aton diya subong seminar will not entail na ay may depression ko, but rather this could be a signal that you may be needing help. And I'm starting with this because according to research, the one that I cited before, 8.7% of pastors somehow experience that, but we're just silent. Gahipos lang ta. Why? Because when we're asked, kamusta ka? Okay lang ko. Okay? For what reasons? Another one is, sa same study, many pastors experience pressure to be constantly available, high expectations, criticism, we're faced with a lot of conflict management, financial pressure, and demands for congregational care. And kung magtipon na ni tanan, may tendency ka, when pastors felt that they were giving much more than they were receiving in support, appreciation, or resources, anxiety and depression increase. So, I don't know, but this is somehow according to research, and we see that our tendency is simply neglect it. A number of studies also tell us, and I just would like to highlight a number of studies, 60% report emotional or mental exhaustion. Pagod na ako. Another one, more than 40 have considered leaving the congregation since 2020. I don't know a number of times. Nung Errol, I don't know how many times that you thought about quitting. No? Or sa atin, siguro, if may fallout ako, I will not be a pastor anymore or I will not be a missionary. No? Another one, more than 50 have considered leaving the ministry altogether. Many experience compassion fatigue and burnout. Parang nakakapagod na. And then many struggling pastors, even if this is reality, never seek help. Kasi nga, pastor ako. Kasi nga, missionary ako. Kasi nga, I'm the servant of God. Anong sasabihin nila to our loss? But we will see in the Bible that even Bible characters who are close to God also experience some of these emotional struggles. If we can remember Moses, in Exodus chapter 18, leading the people of Israel, he was exhausted from carrying the burdens of Israel alone. That's why si Jethro, his father-in-law, said, "Oh, this is not good for you, Moses." That's why delegation is very important. So kung ikaw sa church mo, Pacquiao, no? Sa Cebuano, Pacquiao man, Pacquiao, no? Ikaw tanan, no? Pacquiao, no? I think as pastors also we have to learn how we are able to delegate work, train our people to do the work of the ministry. Elijah, if you can remember that time in 1 Kings chapter 19, sa 1 Kings chapter 18, very, very powerful scene. He killed all the prophets of Baal. He prayed for fire from heaven to come down, and it did. By the opening of 1 Kings chapter 19, paghambal pa lang ni Jezebel, tomorrow at the same time, Elijah will be dead. Elijah made a marathon. 70 kilometers. Ginlagan niya lang dayon. And then, when he came to meet God, his question was, "I want to die." That was actually burnout and emotional depletion. Okay. We also have Jeremiah. If you read Lamentations, may mga passages that even you cannot utter before God. Like si Jeremiah in Lamentations chapter 3 said that, "Lord, you're a lion, you're like a bear waiting for us. Lord, you made us eat stones and gravel." Imagine, nakapray ka na nag-amo ka na sa Ginoo. But Jeremiah came to a point of discouragement and loneliness. And then we also have Paul. In 2 Corinthians chapter 1:18, he was overwhelmed beyond strength. Kag ang sugpo niya that with despair, even life itself. So somehow, biblical examples will tell us that the experience of those who take care of the people of God also will be having struggles. But this morning, I'd like us to realize that if pastors, missionaries, and church workers are to continue caring for others, we must learn how to care for ourselves biblically, wisely, and intentionally. Okay. And this morning, we will try to see for the rest of our lecture this morning, understand unique challenges faced by those engaged in ministry, assess our level of well-being, and identify warning signs if there are warning signs, identify biblical protective factors that promote resilience, bouncing back kung may problema, being able to stand up again, and then develop practical strategies for maintaining healthy spiritually, emotionally, relationally, and become physically healthy as well. Okay? So, uh, sige. So, mental health. Magtanong tayo, what is mental health? Uh, have you heard about mental health? No, after the pandemic, ang mental health nag-boom. Mga I'm also teaching sa college, no? And usually mga bata when I give out research assignments, di sila mag-research assignments, ha? Di sila mag-research assignments and mambal sila, sir, dili na ko kapas. Tapos they'll tell me, sir, dili na ko magpass for my mental health sake. Di sila magpass assignments, di sila magsulod sa klase, kay hindi daw nami ang ilahang mental health. And somehow, this has been one of the reasons sa atin right now na yung mental health has been misunderstood. So sa atin, even sa ating Christian circles, we have misconceptions. Meron tayong mga wrong na mga pagkaintindi ng mental health. Number one is mental health issues are not real. Hindi totoo. Okay. Pwede na arte lang, pero may mga mental health issues na totoo talaga. Number two, ito, strong Christians do not struggle. Christians are immune from mental health issues. Tama? Sometimes we think na kasi pastor ako, kasi Christian ako, dapat wala akong depression, dapat wala akong anxiety, dapat hindi ako nakakaramdam ng stress sa buhay. So that's wrong understanding. Another one, ito, prayer alone solves all emotional problems. Idasal mo lang yan. Ipanalangin mo lang yan. I'm not saying that that's wrong, but if that's the only solution you have, medyo problema. Kasi if you have relationship problems, nag-away kayo ni Mrs., kahit na idasal mo pa yan, kung hindi kayo mag-uusap, hindi masusolusyonan yung problema. So my point is, prayer, yes, it's important, but you have to do some practical solutions. Another one, seeking professional help means weak faith. Kung pangangamustahin ka or magpa-check up ka sa doktor or hihingi ka ng tulong sa iyong senior pastor, hindi na kasi dapat ako lang dapat. Kasi I have strong faith. Another one, pastors should always be okay. I don't know if you have heard of the phrase, it's okay not to be okay. At times, importante that we know that we're not okay. And sometimes, if you're not okay, okay lang that you're not okay. No? Di ba? Merong mga times sa ating buhay na hindi naman talaga tayo okay. No? Okay? And then, I believe that mental health issues has something to do with our fallenness. In Romans chapter 8, verse 20 to 23, for the creation was subjected to futility, not willingly, but because of him who subjected in hope. Verse 21, because the creation itself also will be delivered from the bondage of corruption into the glorious liberty of the children of God. I like the term, for we know that the whole creation groans and labors with birth pangs together until now. Verse 23, not only that, but we also, who have the first fruits of the Spirit, even we ourselves groan within ourselves, eagerly waiting for the adoption, the redemption of our body. Paul is talking about the struggle. And then later on, he closes in Romans chapter 8, verse 28, all things work together for our good. But before this, he's saying that even creation is struggling. And I like the quote from God Questions about mental health when they discuss this. The world is in a fallen state. Sin separates us from God, corrupting creation as it groans for freedom from its state of decay. The fall of mankind has physical ramification. This means that it affects our body and has effects on our soul. Mental health is not guaranteed any more than physical health, and like the body, the mind can get sick. And I'd like us to take note of this. Sin is the root cause, not just of mental health issues, but everything that is broken in this life. Bakit nag-aaway kami ng misis ko? Kasi may sin. Bakit? But bakit ang hirap magpalaki ng anak? Kasi andito pa tayo sa mundo na may kasalanan pa. Bakit ang hirap magtrabaho para sa Panginoon? Kasi andito pa tayo sa mundo that is fallen and broken. That's why I get sick, I got struggles, I even have mental health issues simply because we are in this fallen world. And until Jesus Christ comes, that's the only time when, according to Revelation, every tear will be wiped from our eyes. So don't expect that in this life, walang problema. In fact, healing will come when Jesus returns. The song goes, it will all be worth it when we see Jesus. And you will realize that it's the only time na makasasabi ka, Lord, I am completely healed. That's why we see na si Paul nag-question dyan, O wretched man that I am, who will deliver me from this body of death? And he answered, and we're glad that this is the solution, but thanks be to God who gives us the victory through our Lord Jesus Christ. That's why, as Jesus Christ promised, these things I have spoken to you, that in me you will have peace. In the world you will have tribulation, but be of good cheer. I have overcome the world. So kung tayo, meron tayong mga mental health issues, I like this line that goes, because of Jesus, believers may not be immune, but believers can overcome. So makakaya. And this morning, as we talk about what is mental health? Mental health, according to this definition in the law, means it's a state of well-being in which the individual realizes one's own abilities and potentials, copes adequately with the normal stresses of life, displays resilience in the face of extreme life events, works productively and fruitfully, and is able to make a positive contribution to the community. This is the technical definition ng mental health. So I'm giving you this definition kasi yung mga young people natin ngayon, parang they make mental health as reason behind everything. So anong totoong mental health? Number one, totoong mental health, state of well-being. This is feeling good. So I feel good about myself. But this feeling good has something to do also with individuals realizing their own abilities and potential. So dapat alam ko kung ano yung magagawa ko at kung ano ang hindi ko makaya. Ano mga potentials ko at ano ang parang itong aspect na to, hindi ko na to kaya. Okay? So you know your abilities and potential. Another one, copes adequately with the normal stresses of life. May mga normal na stress sa buhay. Like traffic, or walang sasakyan. Normal yan. Normal. Okay lang, no? Okay lang? So, kung you can cope adequately with the normal stresses of life, meron kang good mental health. Next, displays resilience in the face of extreme life events. Ang resilience, ang meaning niyan is you bounce back. Parang may problema ka, pero nakaka-recover ka agad. Yun yung meaning ng resilience. And when we have extreme life events, like nagkasakit ka, namatayan ka ng mahal sa buhay, nawalan ka ng trabaho, at lahat nun nangyari sa isang linggo lang. Does that happen every week? Parang extreme naman masyado. But if that happens, even if it's extreme, you're able to cope. You're able to bounce back. And isa, you're able to work productively and fruitfully with others. So ang mental health, meaning sa mental health, kung gusto mong magkaroon ng better mental health, you're able to work with other people sa community. Hindi ka nangaaway ng iba. No? Hindi ka basagulero. No? And then the last here is able to make a positive contribution to the community. Parang may naaambag ka sa community. No? And this is feeling well and functioning well. And yung problema natin is yung approach natin sa mental health, we're emphasizing feelings more than functioning well. Basta okay lang yung pakiramdam ko, okay na. Number 2 also, we focus on mood. No? Like, punta muna ako ng Boracay para ano naman tong mental health ko. No? Pag uwi mo sa inyong bahay, andun pa din yung problema. Okay? Yung focus natin parang the same thing. No? Iinom mo lang, for the meantime, mawawala yung problema mo, pero hindi mo totoong binibigyan ng solusyon ang problema mo. Another one, often avoids confronting root cause of mental health and stress. Results in temporary relief, but not long-term healing. So temporary lang. Pero yung functioning well includes coping, being productive, mabait ka sa community, you build habits that are good, you function well, and then you will feel well, not the other way around. And then rooted in personal growth, relationship building, and resilience. And if we go back to the definitions of mental health, it's more on how can I function as a person rather than how can I feel well. And let's try to match this. No? Yung top 10 mental health issue ngayon sa Pilipinas is stress. That's why maraming umiinom, maraming naninigarilyo, maraming addict. Kasi they would like to cope. Honestly, walang umiinom na walang problema. You will realize na ang inom, ang addiction is simply a response to a deeper problem. For some of you who may have been experiencing drinking nung una, ma-realize mo na hindi kayo umiinom for the sake of inom lang. Umiinom ka kasi gusto kong kalimutan ng aking problema. And it becomes addiction. And same thing with drugs. That's why if you have young people na na-hook up sa drugs, yung problema is really not the drugs. Yung problema is ano ang root, bakit nangin addict siya. And usually it goes back to family. It goes back to personal struggle. It's not just addiction. Depression, anxiety. Ang definition ng anxiety is kung gabi na, tsaka dumadaan ako parang sa eskinita na madilim, tapos sa dulo merong ilaw, tapos As I passed by that street, nakita ko na may isang tao, yung parang shadow niya, isang tao na nakahawak ng kutsilyo, and I feel afraid. You call that fear. Normal lang? Definitely normal lang, no? Siguro, parang hindi maganda na tanungin mo, ano kaya yun? Lumapit kaya ako? Hindi pwede, no? Parang dapat matakot ka. You call that fear. Pero kung palakad pa lang ako sa alley, wala akong may nakitang tao, wala naman doon, and then I start to be afraid. That's anxiety. Walang rason na matakot ka, pero natakot ka. That's why if you remember Matthew chapter 6, si Jesus, anong sabi ni Jesus? Do not be anxious about tomorrow. Why? Because you do not know what tomorrow will come. Pero ngayon pa lang, takot ka na. Fear is a natural response. We're glad that God has given us fear because it made us survive. Correct? So kung hindi ako natatakot, mag-drive na lang ako ng 150 per hour. Kasi wala akong fear, right? So fear is something that is good. Pero kung natatakot na ako sa bagay na parang hindi pa naman dumating, that's what we call anxiety. Kung takot kang lumabas sa bahay kasi baka may mangyari sa aking masama, that's anxiety. And then, of course, what's good? Because these top 10 or top 3 mental health issues, if we read the Bible, sabi ng Galatians chapter 5, for the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace. Ano ang solusyon sa depression? Joy. Ano ang solusyon sa anxiety? Peace. Ano ang solusyon sa stress? Love. Sabi nila, I become stressed because I love the wrong things in this life. Correct? O ba't na-stress talaga ako? Kasi yung pagmamahal ko napunta sa mga bagay-bagay dito sa mundo. That's why I got stressed. But what's good about the Bible, yung top 3 mental health issues actually is answered when we live close by the Spirit. If I get depressed, I get joy from God. Anxiety, Jesus promises, I can give you peace beyond your understanding and love. And if I will just focus myself on the things that I have to love in this world, mas stress talaga ako. But if I will focus my love to God, yun, makikita ko that I will be able to see that I can attain what God wants me to really do. And matching mental health, no? Just a quick thing. State of well-being, di ba in Galatians, ito yung mga element ng mental health. In Philippians chapter 4, di ba we're asked, rejoice in the Lord always. Once person realizes his potential, grow in grace and in the knowledge of the Lord Jesus Christ. Copes adequately with the normal stresses of life. Sa Galatians 6:9, do not be weary in well-doing, for in due season you will reap. Resilience, if you go through trials according to James, count it all joy. Works productively and fruitfully, you're able to live peaceably with all men. And then you make a positive contribution in the community, you're able to love your neighbor as yourself. So honestly, ang mga gusto ng mental health is also our goal in the Christian life. If you will go through this deeper, you will see that mental health will be achieved when a Christian grows mature, living abundant life, living by faith, person lives with hope, and a person lives in love. So kung ang goal natin sa atin mga young people or sa atin sarili is to achieve mental health, what we need to do is simply grow in Christ. And what's good is, ito yung pinipreach natin. Ito yung ating tinuturo sa ating mga flock or congregation. That's why when we talk about mental health, we're also talking about growing more in maturity in Christ. So, how to achieve better mental health? So, anong gagawin ko? I believe that better mental health is holistic. Hindi lang sa katawan, hindi lang sa espiritu. I would want to see this framework na it takes care of the body, the soul, and the mind. So, number one, to achieve better mental health, take care of your body. So, kamusta tayo sa pag-take care sa ating body? Okay, physically. Okay. Number one, rest well. Sleep helps your brain and mood. Ilang oras ang tulog kagabi? Ilang oras? At an average, ilang oras ang tulog nyo? Sino ditong average natutulog ng 8 to 10 hours every day? 8 to 10 hours. 6 to 8 hours. 6 to 8 hours. 6 to 8. Wala may 6 to 8? 4 to 6 hours. 4 hours. 4 hours. 4 to 6. Okay. Okay. Sinong natutulog below than 4 hours? Below than 4 hours. When I do this sa mga young people na seminar ko sa mental health, you know what ang average nila na tulog? Is 4 hours and below. They usually sleep at 1 o'clock. Tapos they wake up at, They wake up at 7 kasi may klase na sila. And somehow, that affects their health. Yung normal sleeping hours ng isang adult should be at least 6 to 8 hours. Diba? So kung kulang ka sa 6 to 8 hours, try to sleep 6 to 8 hours. Sa mga counseling ko, that's one of my question always. Kamustang tulog mo this week? Kaya kung if mag-answer siya na yung tulog ko this week, 1 oras lang kada gabi, definitely, sino kayang hindi magkakaproblema sa 1 oras lang sa 2 linggo na tulog? Definitely, you will have mental health issues. Kaya, if you have problems sleeping, you may want to ensure na makokorekto. Honestly, marami tayong problema sa buhay. Ang solusyon, tulog lang. No, correct? Itulog lang yan kasi bukas, kung okay yung kokote mo, you can think better tomorrow if you have better sleep. Correct? So take care of your sleep. Yung challenge kasi, ba't hindi tayo nakakatulog ng maaga? Kasi, naka-cellphone pa tayo. Okay. Correct? Okay. So, and that's very common now. Okay? Pangalawa, eat healthy, balanced diet. Parang balanced diet na naman talaga tayo, di ba? Okay lang? Sinong araw-araw naglilitsyon sa bahay? Okay? Puro taba, wala naman. Or puro soft drinks. Or puro sugar. Okay. So, balance diet. Isa pa, exercise, sports, walking, stretching can help your mood. Okay. para feeling ko wala tayong problema sa exercise sa mga pastors kasi nagba-basketball, no? So, feeling ko okay lang yung exercise, no? Pero if we go technical, ma-realize nyo, kahit na mga doctors, if you feel down, walk ka or lakad-lakad ka or exercise ka. Kasi meron dyan sa brain natin na tinatawag ng mga neurotransmitters that are activated. Kumbaga mga chemical sila sa brain na if you get moving, parang na-activate sila and you start to feel good. That's the reason why if you feel bad, if you feel sad, huwag kang magmukmok sa kwarto mo. Maglakad-lakad ka. Kasi sa paglakad-lakad mo, you get to be more physical, mga neurotransmitters sa brain mo na-activate. That's why na-realize nyo, dito sa Pilipinas, kung medyo malungkot ka, you get to stroll, kausap mo, punta ka ng tindahan. As you walk, as you get up, and you start to talk, parang yung mga problema mo, nakakalimutan mo na. It's not just about that, but it's really more about being physical. No? Another one also, avoid harmful habits. No? And one of the harmful habits, of course, I hope walang naninigarilyo dito, walang umiinom, walang nagda-drugs. No? So, I'm talking to pastors and workers. Hindi na ako magpahansap kung sinong ka panigarilyo, sinong ka nawala man siguro Pero this one harmful habit has been common to everybody. Avoid excessive screen time. Okay. Average screen time ngayon, my students are doing the research, average screen time ngayon na mayang people runs 5 to 10 hours on the screen. Okay. True? True, no? Okay. My optometrist cousin said that excessive screen time can ruin vision. So, ang gawin mo daw, after 1 hour na screen time, see to it that you rest from your phone and practice your vision na makatulok sa malayo. Okay? So don't fix your eyes on the screen. And this is the problem of our young people right now. And our problem also. No? Because pagising natin, screen agad. Yung Bibles natin kasi andun na din sa ating screen. No? So, somehow, parang it affects how your health is. No? So, given this, kamusta ka physically? What are the things that you have to improve as a pastor? You know what? I've read of one quote. If I would be a faithful man of God, I would take care of my health. I would take care of the food I take. Okay? So it means na kung sobrang sugar na, kung sobrang taba na, it's not just about health issues, it's also about taking care of me as a man of God. So, siguro to an extreme, I'm not saying na maging fit tayo agad dito na parang nag-gym talaga, pero can you say to yourself that you're living a healthy physical life? Kamustang tulog, kamustang kain, kamustang exercise. And sige, write down one small change you can make this week to improve physical health. Sige. I don't know how we can do this, but kagabi when you introduce yourself, ang pinakamagandang accountability partner yung asawa mo, no? 'Di ba? So, in terms of physical health, what can you make as changes this week? Or siguro sabihin mo, sinong nag-hands up dito na yung tulog ko is 4 hours lang? Can I try mamayang gabi, I will sleep at 10 o'clock or 9 o'clock and ensure that I get at least 6 hours of sleep? Ah, kaya ba? Ah. Sino din dito nagme-maintenance medicine? Oh, may maintenance na kasi high blood at sugar. Sometimes, nagme-maintenance tayo kasi gusto nating kumain ng baboy at saka gusto nating kumain ng matamis. Pero pwedeng ma-avoid yan if we also control our lifestyle, correct? Ah? So, sige, what are the things that you can improve physically? It's important. Okay? So, number 1, to improve my physical health or to improve my mental health, I must improve my physical health. Because my physical health is not separated from my mental health. Kung may problema ako sa katawan, sa health, it also affects the way I think. Okay. And take care of your mind. Number 2. Okay. Sa isang perspective, meron daw mga events sa ating buhay that affects us, and it has what we call consequences. Nagalit ako. Okay. Yung isang member ko sa church, may ginawa, and then parang parang outburst of anger ako. Consequence. Pero take note, I cannot blame that to the event. Because pwede that there is what we call a belief system that affects that. Yung reaction ko sa circumstances is not justifiable kasi I have a belief system na parang nagmi-mediate na kung anong circumstance, it does not mean na magagalit ako, it does not mean na yung reaction ko will be masama kasi lahat ng reaction ko ay galing sa tinatawag kong belief system. Okay. So kung may ginawa sa aking masama yung aking kapatid, saka nagalit ako sa kanya, posible na I will blame him for my reaction, but honestly, my reaction was really based on what I believe in the first place. And that's what we call something in our mind that mediates the consequences of what we do. Okay? So, sa Bible, we are asked to think what is good. In Galatians and Philippians chapter 4, verse 8, finally, brothers and sisters, whatever is true, whatever is noble, whatever is right, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is admirable, if anything is excellent or praiseworthy, think about such things. Kasi kung anong nasa utak natin, yun yung lumalabas sa ating action. That's why si Paul nagsabi, may your mind be always pure. May your mind think what is always right, what is lovely, what is admirable. Kasi it all starts in our mind. Okay. So, how can we take care of our mind? Think on what is good. Okay. Another one, limit negative input. Be wise about social media and shows. Maraming fake news, diba? So be careful na yung mga fake news, hindi yun ang binabasihan yun ng information. Another one is keep learning. And then lastly, practice gratitude. Thankfulness reshapes your thinking. Okay. There's a song that goes, and I'm sure na alam nyo, Count Your Blessings. It reads the first stanza, when upon life's billows you are tempest-tossed, when you are discouraged, thinking all is lost. Count your many blessings, name them one by one, and I like that line, and it will surprise you what the Lord has done. Correct, no? That's why sa chorus, count your blessings, name them one by one, count your blessings, see what God has done, count your blessings, name them one by one, count your blessings, see what the Lord has done. And the second stanza goes, are you ever burdened with a load of care? Sa ministry, meron, di ba? Marami. Load of care. Correct? Does the cross seem heavy you are called to bear? Solution, count your many blessings, every doubt will fly. And when you start becoming thankful, that line is very true. You will be singing as the days go by. I believe na if we are just thankful in life, it will solve a lot of negative thinking in our minds. Okay? That's why we're asked to take care of our mind. Be thankful. I like this quote. Somewhere within this planet, there is someone dreaming the life you are dreaming right now. Posible kaya, kahit na mahirap lang, pero may mas mga mahirap pa na lugar sa ibang parte ng mundo na what you have now is something that they are dreaming of in the first place. So, be thankful. Maganda every morning if you can make a gratitude list. Of course, number one